No, that's wrong. Dixie Diamonds, 148. Metz, Edmonton, Isabella Falls, Dixie, 8:08 p.m. In response to Eddie's declaration that following Balloony's initial contact with the Bordens that he and Lyd had immediately headed to Cooktown, Agent Jeffrey tilted his head to the side and said, "Hold up just a minute, Ed. Cooktown's on the coast, right? Got to be at least 250K. You just popped in the car and headed right over." "Practically," Ed said with a minute shoulder shrug. "It's actually a bit farther than that by road, but we love how remote we are out here in Dixie. Can't have your cake and eat it too, right? You got to take the bad with the good in life, and hand in hand with the splendor of remoteness comes inconvenience. Only way to have it both ways is owning some sort of private aircraft, and who can afford that? In any case, Liz and I headed over, and a bit after noon we spoke with our friend Karen, the librarian. After Lizzie and I wasted time with just the two of us trying to explain what was going on, Balloony just started talking, telepathing to all three of us at once. I was afraid poor Karen might faint dead away, but she recovered faster than we had. Quicker than you can say Bob's your uncle, she's on the internet, jumping through hoops, trying to establish contact with this Dr. Rosier. And every time she hits a roadblock, she gets around it. Amazing librarian and an amazing woman. As I said, after jumping through those hoops, Karen was able to establish credentials with this research gate. All four of us were ecstatic, and Liz and I headed back to Dixie, filled with hope that we'd hear from Rosier in the near future, while also reminding one another and Balloony that we needed to keep our feet on the ground rather than floating up in the wild blue. That's where we four got reeled in, but we had no idea where we were going. After Karen was in as ResearchGate member, she emailed Rosier, but his response was a hard no, something that devastated Balloony. It took a lot of convincing on our part to get Rosier to speak with us, but Karen kept at it, and finally she arranged for a phone call with him late afternoon. Though we'd had plenty of shocks, we got another with our phone call to Dr. Rosier. Balloony was tied in telepathically, and everyone except Rosier could hear Balloony via telepathy, and Balloony could only hear the doctor's voice via the phone line in Karen Block's ears. We were all confused, but turns out that some madman named Brentsy had tried to murder the doctor last year, and though Rosier had escaped, he sustained brain damage to the part of the brain involved in telepathy. I know this sounds like some science fiction tale, but I swear I'm giving you the straight story. Karen and her husband Paul were supposed to meet face-to-face with Balloony early this afternoon so this Rosier fellow could deactivate a tracker inside Balloony, but Balloony never showed. That was hours ago. I know I absolutely haven't heard from Balloony since about 5:30 this evening, and Liz says she hasn't either. That's my story from 300 meters. I'm happy to answer whatever questions I can, but I don't know much more than what I've already told you.